Lunchbox is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We're concluding the week, and what a week it's been, with our usual Friday frivolity at 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park. I welcome to the show, as usual, Jeff Defo DeForest, Tony Segreto for his season, ending appearance, and Mike Lubie. How are we all doing today, gentlemen? I'll start with Defo.
Doing great. Always a pleasure to be out here at Gulfstream Park. You got the first races in action. I don't know if you were on the chalk, Mr. Milk of Magnesia, but the one is in front. And can you get mowed down by this 9-ball on the outside?
No, I have the 7 because I played a hunch play for a first-time starter with the name Aristophanes, and I don't know if you were an Odd Couple
there
fan.
There is Aristotle, yeah.
No, Aristophanes.
But I'm talking about the horse.
I'm talking about the horse. His name Aristophanes.
Oh, Aristophanes? Okay.
Okay, you know who Aristophanes was?
Aristotle's son. I don't know. Who the hell is it?
Aristophanes was a Greek philosopher.
Yeah.
He might have been Aristotle's son or cousin, but all I know is that I was a big fan of The Odd Couple growing up.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that was a great show.
There was one episode where Oscar and Felix worked together on the game show Password.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Felix was trying to describe who Aristophanes was, and Oscar had no idea. And then Oscar said, Aristophanes is ridiculous. And then later on, the clue was ridiculous, and Oscar says, Aristophanes. Felix goes, ridiculous.
Yeah.
And betting on Aristophanes was ridiculous, but that's okay. We're undeterred.
There he is. He's just coming across
We
now.
have such a big weekend of racing coming up.
Belmont tomorrow.
We got here at Gulfstream some good races and stakes races tomorrow. And, of course, we got Belmont at Saratoga, which I'm just eager and excited about. And, I'm ready to roll. Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're
Doing
going
great.
north for the summer after
Going
today's
north
show?
Thursday, I'm going to Vermont. Then I'm going to Atlanta, then Vermont for the summer and the fall.
The Tony Segreto summer tour. Now, I know that your daughter is going to be going to the Olympics in Paris. Are you going to the Olympics in Paris?
I may go.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because
You gotta
that
do
sounds
that, yeah.
like some cool stuff. They're going to be having the opening ceremonies on the River Seine.
It's going to be unbelievable. It's she's going to be working like 7 days a week, but
Right.
So my wife and I are trying to decide. She says don't come.
Yeah. Is it worth it to come or not? Yeah.
And I stand corrected. My brother was wrong. I thought it was Aristophanes. It's Aristotle. So I would never have bet on that. Defo was right. It was Aristotle.
I'm looking on the board. I don't know what you were looking at. Mike, man.
Well, my brother must be doing some of some of your
The wacky
favorite
tobacco,
medicines, but now I'll never get that $10 back. Who won the race? The one?
$1.
I think
3
I
to 5.
do have one live double going. So, all right, nobody cares about my
I had the
misfortunes.
2, and I only had him with the 4 and the 5. Is there anything where some guy comes
guys
whining and then he
always
shows
do
you the ticket? It's right in your face. It's like, get your losers out of my face.
It's all good. We're
I have plenty of my own.
lively day here at 10 Palms.
It's okay.
We've got, of course, a whole big tomorrow. Besides the great racing, they're
I'm super
having their
stoked.
taste of the track,
Yep.
which is going to be in celebration of all things New York, Big Apple.
You come to that, Lubie?
I'm definitely going to be here.
I'm
and
here.
Hopefully,
I am
Joe
doing
can
that.
take care of my parents as well because they're very excited about it.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Tony. You want to come on out and eat some hot dogs or some shawarma or
I may come out.
pastrami little sliders? This is going to be a great display and array. Go online to Gulfstreampark.com to get your
they still have some
tickets.
tickets, yeah.
Still, I think some tickets available.
Yep.
It starts at 12 with the VIP hour. And I think you can use the promo code Belmont10 to get an extra $10 off of the savings. I can't guarantee if it's going to be the lowest rate of the year. Yeah, it will be the lowest rate of the year because it's the
Coming tomorrow.
it's happening tomorrow. Let's say anyway. Boy, did I do some eating last night at one of our great sponsors, but I did pay dearly. But it was such a great meal at Casa D'Angelo, and it was my buddy's 60th birthday. And I said, first of all, it's a miracle that either one of us has made it to this point. And for him especially, he just got through a kidney transplant.
Oh, wow.
Among the various other maladies in his life, which has included a near-fatal bout of COVID.
Oh, my God.
A 2-week coma, medically induced in Costa Rica when he had all kinds of heart and brain issues.
Of all places, jeez.
He also lived right across from the World Trade Center, and 9/11, he left his apartment 15 minutes before.
What's his name, Mr. Lucky?
Oh, my God. You didn't tell us this much about him.
Oh, yeah. No, the Sheik is quite, and I've known him since 1980 as I was a high school freshman. He was a high school sophomore. We've known each other 44 years.
I don't know if you should stay closer to him or stay away from him. Because he seems to be pretty lucky.
He's Morris the
But
cat.
it seems like
He's
a lot's
had
going
more
on.
lives than Morris. I think he's well beyond 9. He's at like 19 or so. So,
What was there an understanding before you got to Casa D'Angelo that you were going to pick up this
Mayo?
check?
No,
or did he
I was
make a
gonna
move
say,
for it?
I thought it was their birthday.
How did he play
celebration
it
of
at 60?
him.
the
First
Sheik?
of all,
And you were just there.
It's an awesome restaurant.
it
Well,
is
fantastic.
so
We love
classy.
Casa
And
D'Angelo.
both Angelos were there that we had on the show last month. And of course, now there are new sponsors. But Angelo Elia was there.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he
great.
was there to greet me at the door, along with Martino, the great maitre d' there. And then we got some drinks at the bar with Eddie. And we also saw Angelo Massimova, the executive chef, chef de
great.
cuisine, at the flagship in Fort Lauderdale. So, everybody came out and greeted me. Me and Val got there earlier. My friend was about 45 minutes later. So we got a little bit, lubricated at the bar. And who walks in? First of all, that place is happening. They have a lively bar scene. See our friend Mark Goldberg from Grandpa's.
Oh, nice.
He lives in the neighborhood, and he was in there having a couple of cocktails and a little light bite. And it's a fantastic place. And getting to see both of them was wonderful. But to answer your question, Defo, this was my surprise to him. I showed up with two birthday cards.
Okay.
And usually I never get, I'm not like a sensitive or a mushy guy.
No, we know this.
No,
Yeah.
especially with dudes.
Anybody who's watched the show the
older
last couple of
dudes.
years.
Yeah,
that's
it's very strange for me to
There's
show
no
up with
dudes.
one card, let alone two. Now,
Two,
the only
yeah.
reason, do you know the reason I had two cards?
Why'd you have two
I have
cards?
no idea.
Because you thought it was somebody else's birthday?
No, because I went to Publix and they had a
Oh, two
BOGO.
for one?
Buy one, get one. That's
Good
great.
move, yeah.
That's
And I was like,
classic.
what am I going to do? Buy myself a Father's Day card for later in the month or myself a birthday card? No, I got the Chic two, and these specialty cards that say the number 60. One of them was funny. One of them was a little like, not
Racy,
mushy,
mushy.
but I just kind of. But when he got them and he said, "Is there cash in here? Is there a check?" I said, "No, Mark. But my gift to you is I am picking up the tab tonight." And he was
my
like,
God.
"Really?" And then, of course, he immediately proceeds
Went
to
He
insane.
didn't have to pop his
get
ass.
the veal chop and the
Let me
the-
order
the
something
pasta
else.
with
yeah.
lobster.
Yeah, I feel like the move is to say that after the meal.
No. And he left the wine selection to me, and I wasn't going to skimp because this is a big milestone
And
for a
60's
guy
big,
who's
especially that
cheated death's door the number of times. So I went for a very nice Sicilian wine that was
They make great wines.
a Sicilian red that the sommelier Enrique came over, and I was looking at the sommelier's selections, and this was a nice bottle. I would say it was in the the $200 to $300 range, $265, because I'm not going to be cheap for a good friend's birthday.
Good for you.
And it was a fantastic meal. So again, props to Casa D'Angelo, and we're going to be out at the Aventura location next month, Jeff DeForest, when Angelo Elia gets back from Italy. He's going there for a month-long trip, homecoming to his hometown. He likes to get back there every summer. And
How
then
are the satellite or the
well, it's funny you should ask that, Tony Segreto, because I have some news about the Aventura location, which opened up, I guess it's about 4 years ago. And they have a new executive chef in there that I've been given the blessing to announce to the general public. It's a guy that I've known a long time, talented guy who has been in the news a bunch because he's opened a couple of restaurants in Fort Lauderdale where things haven't worked out. Most recently, Val plus Tino. And I'm talking about Giovanni Rocchio. Giovanni is now in the fold as the kind of running the show executive chef at the Aventura location of Casa D'Angelo. And it's going to be great to get in there with the two of them and talk a little bit about what's been going on and maybe talk about what happened in his recent past. But in the restaurant business, we just like to move forward, Jeff Defo de Forest, right? And you've got something exciting going on tonight, right? A little backyard concert.
Oh, that should be good. Yeah, it's an offshoot of my experience earlier in the week at Mickey's Downtown, which I'm trying to send Mayo in there to get his opinion on this thing. I thought it was phenomenal. There's 40% off, I think they were doing it from 3 to 7. I'm not sure if it was certain nights of the week. Somebody you would have to check on that, but would be well worth the visit. If you were going to try a place, that would be the time to do it. And they were honoring that. I mean, they showed you, it almost looked like a Publix receipt when I got my bill, because they had like how much money I had saved on their circle, which had saved 40% of 100 or whatever, or close to it.
Right, but you're still supposed to tip on what would have been the regular
original
price.
Well, yeah, and that was the thing. We were talking about it when we were at Luke's, and it was kind of confusing because they had a little paper on the table that said that the 20% was going to be included on the original price, which was fine with me, but then they didn't include it on the check. So, I mean, theoretically, you would think that, okay, this is already included. I got a check here. It says pay $70. Here's the 70. If you wanted to throw a couple extra bucks on there, fine. But you would be basically robbing the guy because they didn't put the 20% on.
No, and this is something that is being brought up more and more now in the Let's Eat South Florida group. People who are confused by when they go to get these summer specials or deals or a happy hour. Are they supposed to tip on the regular amount or the actual amount that they're spending, which is, including
You can do what
discount?
you want, but
I say
you're supposed to do it on the
I think
original.
a very generous tip on whatever it is that you got for half price.
When I go
deal,
to our friends at Tropical Acres and I go in there for the happy hour and I get my half price Belvedere and I get some other light bites and the bill comes out to maybe $30 or $35 instead of the usual $50 or $60, I'm still going to throw my man Nick there a $20 bill because that's how I roll. Not to be like a big spender, but
because 10 still would be 20 or more percent.
I can't do the math, and I don't want to be cheap, and I just put the bill portion goes on my Amex corporate card because every meal I eat is a business expense.
There you go.
That's what I tell the IRS anyway.
That's what I do.
And then I always love to tip in cash because that's what the service industry people want.
That's what they need.
And also probably, let's not tell the IRS, but
No, when you go in there, and they don't really audit people so much anymore. I think that's like a thing of the past.
Well, they don't have enough. They got rid
But
of half
what's the most
IRS.
famous response that you have when you're being audited? Receipts?
Yeah.
Then you bring like a shoebox with every piece of paper you've ever collected since you were born and say, well, you want to go through these with me? I'll be happy to.
yeah, we could be here a while, but why not?
No, they don't.
Meanwhile, how about this impressive array of this, food for lunch?
What about this Wahoo?
Well,
I haven't tried that.
This is the thing. Obviously we come here every week. Joe Beha, who'll be on the show in a little bit, treats us royally, and we get some sushi. We get some.
and these guys know how
some
to
beverages.
Thank you.
We get usually a little pasta, and we always like to get the deli fish special because you know me. Eating sensibly is my middle name. Mike Moderation Mayo. Today they have a wahoo, which is kind of like rolled up, very thick. Because
Yeah, it's
usually you
different.
see wahoo is like a thin strip.
Very thin.
Wahoo is also kind of a notoriously difficult piece of fish to cook. This came out perfect, succulent, rolled up, well spiced on the outside, and it came with Lubie's favorite, some quinoa.
Quinoa.
Now, what's your objection to quinoa?
I've never had it prepared tasty. So again, that's not quinoa's fault. It's more the people I've had prepare it for me. It's one of those things where I've just never had, like you with kale. I know Defo likes kale. We've made fun of him for kale. Same thing. But we had the kale salad at Taco Craft, and they did a good job with kale. So that opened my eyes that kale can be done well. Same thing with the Florida avocado, right?
Thirsty.
It's not a Haas avocado. And then Brad made sure to show us you can make a Florida avocado, and it tastes very well. So again, it's just a grain. It's empty until you do anything to it. It's not the grain.
What do you think of this? It's chopped up with like some peppers.
Yeah,
It's pretty
good.
tasty.
I
Yeah.
think they did a nice job with it.
If you were some kind of health freak, this would be awesome.
I think it's
Wouldn't it?
great.
Yeah,
I really am.
They always do
digging
a nice job.
that wahoo with quinoa. I'm going to give props to again Joe Beha, and there's a new
Well, the
executive
executive
chef
chef's doing
here.
a really good job.
So this one is a winner. And speaking of winners, should we do the contest or
Yeah,
should we
let's do
take
it.
our first break?
Yeah, one works.
Do the contest.
I don't know. I kind of want to like space it out today. Let's take our first break already. And I mentioned Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road. Give them a call now to get in the
Your
book
Father's Day's a week away.
this weekend or Father's Day, which is going to be Sunday, June 16th. I can't believe it's only a week away. It just seems like the months are flying by.
It's flying
It
by.
not seems like they are.
954-989-2500 to get your reservations today for Father's Day. Treat dad to something special. Get him that beautiful prime rib or filet mignon. Save him a day of sweating over a grill and take him out to a beautiful fine dining experience. Been there for 75 years. He'll get treated right.
When you won't get clobbered either.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the places that doesn't do the holiday
That's the beauty.
annihilation.
Or beat the rush and just go in there tonight, and you can get your twin lobster specials for $39. Two fresh.
So they do it on a
steamed
Friday,
lobsters.
the same price.
They have it Monday through Friday.
And Mark Falsetto, very impressed with that yesterday.
$39,
No.
including a salad inside. While supplies last, they only have a limited number available
Each day,
daily.
right, yeah.
They
Was it a
also
pound?
offer it on Saturdays and during the holidays, but it's a little bit more expensive. Either $44
Is it a
on a
pound and a
Saturday.
half or a pound?
Pound to a pound and a quarter, what they call the chick
you get-
lobsters. But when you get two of them,
Well, if you do the
That's
thing Mayo
plenty.
likes to do, that's actually the move because their prime rib's fantastic. So, like anywhere you go, what's surf and turf? 60. I mean, surf and turf is ridiculous.
usually
They're-
$80 a person.
You
or
can get
something.
surf
and you
and
get one
turf,
little lobster tail.
and you get a nice amount of food for like $40. If
This you
do
can
it right.
get the twin lobster. You get a piece of their regular prime rib or their filet mignon barrel cut, and you get both of those for like $80 and enough to split for
Enjoy.
two. And half price wine Monday and Tuesday. All
Remember
of
when
the
they had the
things.
surf and turf on planes?
Oh.
You flew on a lot of those charter flights,
Oh, my
you know,
God.
with the Canes over the years. Remember, you get on Delta and go, well, you want the surf and turf, and it
Yeah,
was,
it's
you know,
not gonna be real
a
surf and
strange brand of meat, and, a lobster. that
Was
you're-
it meat?
You're
Was it-
wondering. I mean, they didn't catch this on
It was
Deadliest Catch.
impossible meat before it was impossible.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Nothing like the combination we're talking about here at Tropical Acres, which that's a hell of a deal.
And we love the Studiali family. I mean, it's been in their hands for 3 generations, 75 years. It's a glorious place. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, coming back with more from the track. You have a Belmont pick yet,
Yeah,
Mike?
I got
Oh, you
some
do?
picks. I
All
got
right.
some
We
things.
talked to Kate and
We'll
Brainerd
talk-
today, and that was always a lot
Oh,
of
I
fun.
missed the morning show. What,
Yeah,
what was
Yeah,
her
we had
pick?
Caden.
Who did she pick?
She was all over
Libby?
the place.
Yeah, she was
That's what I love about
Seems
Caden.
non-committal.
But
I
she
would
talks
say.
about like 12 horses,
Yeah.
even though it's like an 8-horse field.
It
So
seems like your favorite word is now the wise guy choice. Resilience
Oh yeah, yeah,
is
that could be.
the Mott horse.
She mentioned that horse.
Number 2 is getting a lot of buzz amongst the wise guy crowd. But we'll talk more about the
All right.
Belmont later on during the contest portion. But let's we'll take a break and we'll be back after these words on the Lunchbox. A sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hour 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First class dining, top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, eating some healthy caprese salad, which is Tony Segreto's favorite.
It's the Tony send-off brunch. It's unbelievable, man. We're sending him out to the big northeast.
Meanwhile, he's getting ready to go to cooler climes for the summer. We're talking about how much fun we had yesterday with Mark Falsetto, our friend. That
Falsetto's
pizza
classic,
great.
man. That
What a
guy's
good
great.
guy.
Two things, like he sent, Lubie, of course, with his bag of leftovers,
Yeah.
which is, I guess it's one of the requirements. It's like Defo in his racing forms at Gulfstream. Lubie is also required to leave every establishment with.
I'm sorry, I didn't
I
mean to
just-
shove you.
leftover-
I just don't like wasting food.
I didn't mean to shove you into the racing office. I treated him like he was Caitlin Clark. I just pushed him right in there and said,
and then
Mayo,
I
we need a
grab,
form for
I
tomorrow.
grab a fistful of forms.
Yeah, you
for
get like
yes,
12.
for today, tomorrow. Dave's like, what do you have a side hustle? You selling
You're
those?
like selling them.
I saw Jack Will and Nicoletti chasing you out of there, screaming, "Hey, put those back!"
And I always leave a few for the others that come in tomorrow. But I
I
explained.
saw you try to sell a couple
it's
outside.
part of your
Yeah.
contract. Part of your rider is that you must have a racing
Yes,
form
that's
for Friday and Saturday.
Sort of why it comes down.
And then Lubie,
It's the main reason. I
he
would
must
to say.
have
No, the
leftovers.
food's
I
great.
don't need the
But-
boxes,
But
but
Mark
there was a
tells-
lot of food. They put out a freaking spread, and you guys were
And
eating.
you
I didn't get
asked
to eat that
for
much.
what? A little bit of
Well, just because they had a little bit of the vodka sauce, and there was like a half
for
of a
the
mozzarella.
arancini. His
Well, no, it came
Wagyu
out was the
rice
arancini.
balls.
One of either the mozzarella or the arancini.
Right.
And they had gotten rid of it, so I was like, "Can I just get a little bit?" And as I'm leaving, I'm like, "What is this big ass container of things?" And it was literally like the big container you get for Chinese food,
Yeah.
full of vodka sauce,
A
just
big
vodka
tub.
sauce. I was like,
And you're
"Jeez,
saying
okay."
Shirley appreciates
She's eating it with everything. She's eating hamburger, rice.
She
some
put it on her
coffee. She put it in her
Cheerios.
coffee.
I
I'm
think
like,
the dog
"Jeez."
had some this morning.
Have you ever seen vodka sauce on Cheerios?
No.
Because that's
Yeah.
what Shirley
In
had for
my home.
breakfast this morning. And we thank
But it's
Mark
fantastic.
Falsetto. Again, the Sun Sentinel is conducting their Best Pizza in South Florida search, and we're happy to be part of it. We're going to be doing a judges portion, a blind tasting on June 25th.
It's too
at
broad of a category.
at
though.
a
It really
neutral
is.
site.
Yeah.
And we're going to, again, I'm not going to sit here and kvetch about it.
It
I'm
is what it
happy to
is.
be part of it. It's going to help boost our ratings
reach.
and our reach. And it's like in poker, Defo. You play the hand you dealt.
Yeah.
So if it's all wide open to every style of pizza, whatever is the 5 finalists, whatever
Whatever's
they
the 5
bring in,
finalists.
and
what it is.
whatever we have that day, and it's going to be neutral ground, neutral territory at Bubbles and Pearls, where we're going to be doing the judging.
I love that
on
Josie,
Josie,
that
right?
place
25th.
alone is. I'm dying to visit that place. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a great spot.
What's it
Josie
called?
is a piece of. I mean, she's
Called
a
Bubbles
great
and Pearls.
personality, and
She's classic. She's
a
funny.
cla-
She's like a
as
poker
chef.
champion.
What's it
Josie,
called?
the name of the restaurant in Wilton Manors is Bubbles and Pearls. They don't sell pizza, but they do have ovens, so we'll be able to reheat.
When she's a
the
renowned
pizzas.
chef, she was on like TV.
She was
and
on Top Chef, I think, one year and made it far.
She's also like a poker.
Really,
She's, like,
she
big into
likes
poker.
poker. Again, a woman after
she
my
was
own
fun.
heart, and she does a great job there. Restaurant's been open 8 years now. It's
Wow, that's crazy.
hard to imagine, but we're going to have her and also another former colleague from the Sun Sentinel, Rod Stafford Hagwood, who's a hoot. He's done food coverage and food reviews in the past. He also was best known as the fashion critic. He used to go to, back when the newspapers had money, he would go to fashion shows every
Oh,
year.
really?
in
Like
Paris
Milan and Paris. Wow.
and New York.
He
And
liked me when I was on the air.
yeah,
He would best dressed would.
Oh, yeah.
I'd always be in.
Nice.
Oh, Rod would give you
I mean,
props.
it's-
That's
it's-
good because Rod did nothing but get on my case because I'm the schlep.
Oh, you're a schlep.
I have 2 different outfits and I wear them, 5 days in a row. And but I always enjoyed working with Rod. He's hilarious. So that's going to be fun on the 25th, the pizza competition. And but get your nominations in now going to sunsentinel.com. And again, the way it was put to me, Defo, even though there's all the styles, somebody puts a gun to your head, said, "This is your last night on earth. You got to go for pizza. Where are you going for pizza?"
It's too far apart, though.
You're
Mike
not
Mayo.
answering the question.
Don't
I
just
understand
answer
it.
the question.
The gun to the
He's
head
done.
question. It's a stupid question. It really is. You sound like Boog Shampi talking about baseball. They put a gun to my head. I'm picking the Twins. No, I just think they're so different, the styles of pizza, that you really need to categorize them a little bit.
See, what's funny
Sir,
is I agree with both
but I mean,
sides.
There's a conventional style that people always want to compare to New York, and then there's this kind of new, sort of creative,
So where are you
almost
going?
flatbread.
I know you in the last year absolutely, have loved the vegetable pie at Pizza Spot.
That's
our
a great
friend Wade.
pizza, no doubt about it.
See, what's interesting
So
is
that's something you could nominate.
But directly, I don't know that it's diametrically opposed, but you could go to Costa's for that
they make a nice pizza.
pepperoni pizza that they have,
Exactly.
and then they also have like the weird one with the spinach and everything. That is absolutely amazing.
And you could
Yeah.
go to Heritage or Pizza Craft for the sopressata with the spicy
Everything
honey.
we had there yesterday was great.
Both of those, I think Heritage and Pizza Craft are both worthy to be
Really up there.
finalists.
Look,
I think
look,
there's some
I-
slice joints. It's impossible.
unlike-
I don't know how they're going to do the
Yeah.
tabulations and what's going to get in the top 5. All I know is I'll be there to eat everything that's shoveled. That's
Look, unlike some of the other
presented.
ones where we sort of
Some of the ones that aren't famous.
what I'm saying is like some of the other contests they've done where we sort of felt like, there's clear cut. To me, I'm hoping the restaurants take this and understand, look, it's almost impossible when there's literally every corner has an Italian place that does probably decent to good pizza, especially in South Florida, all over South Florida. So whoever's not in this, I hope they don't take it too hard, because to me, like, I actually agree with you. I think it's ridiculous, but I will give you when they ask that question, 2 places come to my mind.
Where?
They just do. I know Val doesn't like it, but I grew up on Poppy's. I don't eat anything else they have there, but
And that's
their
where
pizza,
in Lauderhill.
there's one on 44th. Now they used to have one that was probably closer to where she is, and that's probably the one she talks about. That one wasn't as great. The one by where you went for I guess Asian food the other day, the Jacaranda
Maruni,
Plaza,
yeah.
they had a Poppy's. That's not the good one. There's one on University and 44th. It's ridiculously expensive.
Really?
It's literally, they don't even have sit down.
Do they
It's-
offer
it's-
slices?
It's pure takeout.
Oh, it's pure takeout of pies? A pie joint only?
They do other dishes, but pizza's their
But
thing.
I'm saying
They're-
pizza.
They're
It's just
always packed
by the pie.
through COVID.
All right, I got to go
They're
check it out.
expensive, but they do their pizza to
We'll see
me.
if they get. And this
And
thing,
Pasquale's. Those
I
are my
have a
2 go-to. If
I
I
have a
really want
What
to
feeling-
go
about
to
Anthony's coal-fired pizza?
Look, again,
That's
there's
gone
a
downhill.
million
And did you hear?
places
Oh,
that
ever
is great
since,
pizza.
ever since Anthony sold it.
well, yeah, and he has nothing to do with it anymore.
No,
At one
nothing.
point, he was involved. And here's some news that's been making the rounds on some of the business press, but that the parent company that owns both BurgerFi and Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza, two now national
Goliaths,
brands, national chains that started in South Florida, but that company is in serious financial trouble. They missed a debt repayment that was due a couple of months ago. Their stock has been delisted from the NASDAQ
Oh,
for falling
really?
under
Oh,
$1.
God.
And that the rumor on the street that some of the business press has been writing about is that a lot of store closures and possibly a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing is
Wow.
in the works. And that would be a sad day for 2 brands. BurgerFi started in, I believe it was Deerfield Beach or
Deerfield.
Delray Beach,
Deerfield.
Deerfield. And then Anthony's, of course, our friend Anthony Bruno started it, no longer has anything to do with it except having his name on the marquee down in Fort
Fort
Lauderdale,
Lauderdale was the first
around the
one.
corner from Runway 84. I hope that doesn't come to fruition, but it's it's both a sign of the times and possibly mismanagement, because what happens is these companies come in, they try to cut costs and cut corners, and then the quality goes down, and then nobody goes there.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So
Once Anthony sold it, we went there twice, and the quality went down, and that was it.
I found the consistency is varied widely. I think the original one still does a pretty good job. That's the one on South Federal. But all right, in any event, pizza. You might think it's stupid to have it just a wide
I don't
open
think it's
to
fair.
everything.
I just don't think
I
it's
don't
fair.
think it's fair. When we were on, again, I was invited to take part in the discussions about the organization of the contest. I said, I really think pizza is such a wide category.
And there's enough
It
that you
should
can
be divided into at least 2, if not 3
Yep.
categories.
Yep.
But nobody listens to me. So
No,
they just wanted to get it all done in one shot. So this is the hand we've been dealt, Defo. And I'm not going to call any of my compadres, former colleagues at the Sun Sentinel, any names. And I'm just going to go with the flow. And I'm going to say, if somebody said I had to go for one place for pizza tonight,
Could
Where'd
you
you
do
go?
it though? Could
I
you
would
pick
say
one?
I
Honestly,
can't I'm going to have to recuse myself because
Yeah.
I'm going to be a judge. So I'm
there
not
you
even going to
go.
give an answer.
That's the problem. Is Tony's not wrong. You can name the next 15 places, and I'd feel bad for picking 2. So I'm just going with what I know in my everyday life to make it easier, and then that way no one has to get mad at me.
Where's
But
Poppy's?
Poppy's is off University and 44th, and then there's also Pasquale's, which in Coral Springs is a really nice new. Again, but I do like New Haven, and I like Chicago deep dish, and I like Detroit. I just grew up with New York. That's just what down here. New York was the thing down here. So
My double with the long shot just went up in flames at Defo. The 5 was nowhere in sight. You can't find them with a search warrant. So there goes that ticket. We're going to do better later today. All right. Enough pizza talk for now. Let's do the contest. How about that? Yes.
How about
let's
that?
get it going. Yeah, we're more than halfway through the show.
Okay. So it is time for the Sunday Brunch 10 Palms giveaway. Email the answer to this week's restaurant trivia questions along with your horse selections for this week's contest race, which is going to be the 11th race on the card, the last race on the card, and that's numbers 1 through 10. That's the Martha Washington Stakes for three-year-old fillies. So that's the Gulfstream race, the 11th race, Gulfstream 1 through 10. And then we've got the tiebreaker this week. Not going to be basketball, not going to be hockey. It's going to be the Belmont Stakes. And that, again, also numbers 1 through 10. And that's going to be the 12th race. This year run at Saratoga because they're doing renovations at Belmont. And this year it's going to be
It's not
a
even,
mile and a quarter instead of the traditional mile and a half. And the race is scheduled for 6:41 p.m. and will be broadcast on Fox Channel 7. Yeah, there you have it. So we need 3 things. A restaurant name, a number 1 through 10 for the Gulfstream 11th, and the number 1 through 10 for the Belmont/Saratoga 12th. Here we go. If multiple entrants have all the elements right, we'll have a tiebreaker drawing on the next lunchbox. And again, email the answers to mikemayoeats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, noon Saturday, June 8th, mikemayoeats@gmail.com. All right. For this week's restaurant, we celebrate the last leg of the Triple Crown with an Empire State named restaurant in South Florida.
Okay.
You got that, Defo? It's
There you go.
in South Florida. It's an existing restaurant,
Okay.
and it has an Empire State name. Here we go. This Boca Raton Steakhouse has been around for more than 2 decades, and the non-geographical portion of its name refers to the grade of meat it serves, not the mathematical term for numbers such as 3, 5, 7, and 11. See, Lubie liked that one. It's a little bit of a Mayo
I
clue.
got it when you did the geography thing. I just thought that you're going to keep going with
And it can okay. So let me just repeat this one again. Boca Raton Steakhouse has been around for more than 2 decades, and the non-geographical portion of its name refers to the grade of meat it serves, not the mathematical term for numbers which can only be divided by themselves and the number 1.
And he's like, how easy are you making this?
Pretty freaking easy. I
That
shouldn't
was
even
sort
go
of
any
my
further.
point.
Clue number 2. Weirdly enough, this mini chain also has locations in Atlanta and Myrtle Beach,
Oh, they
South
do have
Carolina,
more. I didn't realize that. Okay.
but not in the Big Apple. So
That's funny.
Again, they have locations in Boca Raton, Atlanta, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, but not in the Big Apple.
Interesting.
And number 3, the restaurant's biggest gimmick involves seafood, not steak, as the biggest lobster in the restaurant's tank, known as Big Red, gets carted around in the dining room in a radio flyer red wagon before being cooked and served. So that's something.
That's
I've never been to
interesting.
this place, by the way.
If it's what I'm thinking is, we've been there, but I don't remember them doing anything with a
Well,
lobster.
you probably didn't order a 5-pound lobster.
Oh, it's when you get lobster.
When
they
you
do it.
order the biggest
Okay.
lobster in the place, which is
Okay.
like 7 pounds or whatever,
Jesus.
then they cart it around in a radio flyer wagon.
Wow, that's
see, I don't. 7-pound lobster,
It feels like a
It's
lot.
not sweet.
tough.
They're tough
Feels like
because
a
they're so
lot.
old.
Like, how can you cook that? Yeah, they're old
Yeah.
too. But how can you cook that? Like, I feel like to get it cooked, you would probably overcook it. I feel like that's almost impossible to cook it right.
I'm of the opinion that like the sweet spot for lobster is like 1.5 to 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Like a good 2-pound lobster is
Yeah.
sweet,
Sweet,
easy to cook.
easy to cook.
7 pounds. That's a lot.
7 pounds is just overkill.
Yo.
But hey, it's
Yeah,
Boca.
they go
Everything
for it.
is for show in
Ostentatious.
Boca. I wonder if the lobsters get Botox there too.
Let's ask them.
All right. There you have it. Email those answers to me along with your horse picks to mikemayoeats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, Tony. All right. what do you say we take another
Take
break?
another break.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
you know what? I got to put the good word in for our friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, 535 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale. Our friend Kevin and Brandon. It is the home of a really good weekend brunch, both Saturday and Sunday, with bottomless drinks if you so desire. They have some of their great house-made spirits, like the pecan-infused whiskey that they use to make that great pecan sour. They also have the traditional mimosas and Bloody Marys that you can have there, along with great Southern specialties like chicken and waffles, shrimp and grits, and the biscuits, the drop. They call them drop biscuits with that jams and things that they have there.
And
I have
sausage
not
gravy.
found any better biscuits in South Florida to this point. They also have lunch and dinner 7 days a week. They have free parking in the garage next door. They have live entertainment tonight, Wednesday through Friday, live music, 6 to 8 p.m. They have Whiskey Wednesdays that you
I want
can
to try that pecan.
Oh, yeah.
The whiskey is
Whiskey.
great. The whiskey's great.
It's very nice. A very nice drink, and they do a great job. They are also masters of hospitality. Go into Batch and tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we'll be back with more on the Lunchbox after these words. One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. Are you looking for a good New York-style slice? How about lunch specials for under $9 that come with garlic rolls and a fountain drink? I'm talking about Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in the Fountains of Plantation, 801 South University Drive. Since 1987, it's been home to Brooklyn-style pies and slices, heroes and paninis, pastas, and all your Italian-American favorites. It's got the unpretentious vibe of the pizza places of my youth with daily specials, family dinners, outdoor seating, eat-in, carry-out, or delivery. Open 7 days a week. Go to strombolispizza.com to place your order today. Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and look who's joined us. It's Joe Beha. He is, again, the best-dressed person on the show. Not much competition any week.
T-shirt.
I got my
Polo.
usual. It's one of my new spring collection shirts.
There you
You know,
go.
every 6 months, I go to
Mr.
BJ's Wholesale Club
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
buy 3 shirts.
There you
and
go.
then you will see those 3 shirts
That's
constantly
great.
mixed in with a few shirts from the fall collection.
Listen, Tony, when I'm retired, I do not intend on wearing collars. Trust me. So I'm all
good.
for it.
How are you this week, Joe?
We're good. We're good. We're gearing up for tomorrow.
What a
So
great weekend! I'm so excited.
I'm so
Yeah.
stoked about
We've
this
got
thing.
great stuff going on here at Gulfstream. We've got the Stanley Cup Game 1 opener right in
Yeah.
town across the
Yeah.
way after all the racing is done tomorrow. What's going on here, though? You got more tickets available?
we
for
do. We
the-
do. Actually, you could go on our website on www.gulfstreampark.com and you'll click on the link. And then if you enter Belmont 10, it'll give you 10% off.
10% off, not
10%
$10 off.
Right,
10%
off.
okay.
It'll give you 10% off, both for VIP and for GA.
That's a good deal.
So,
you have the VIP tickets remaining, which to me is like
It's a
you
great.
get there that
especially when you
first
get there
hour
early.
and it's empty and
Exactly.
you can do all
Why
the
don't you tell
eating
people
and drinking that you need. Go ahead.
tell people what you're gonna get if they
Sure.
See, what's so
Taste
funny is
the
I was
treat.
trying to explain
Absolutely.
it to my parents, and I
Yeah.
kept forgetting things. That's how much you guys
No
have
worries.
got going on tomorrow.
No, we have quite a few things going on. I mean, first off, we're implementing these now, so we have a
Ooh,
nice
you get
little
your feed bags or your drink
lanyard.
bags.
and- exactly.
They see
You know,
Yeah,
you
it's not the
I am-
chintzy glass.
you
know,
see
Joe.
these-
This
this-
is like
what a
real
wonderful
glass.
idea
Yeah.
because you see this at some of the major food festivals where
Correct.
how do you go around with a plate where you got to eat and carry a glass of
Yeah.
wine or a cocktail? Beautiful.
Yep.
So you
So this is something we're going to start. We've tried it once before. We kind of created it ourselves the first time. This time we purchased. A little concerned about the size of the cup, so please,
They're gonna
please drink responsibly tomorrow. But
And I'm gonna wear my
Bev
black
cost.
black shirt, not the white shirt, because if there's
You're
like
gonna
any
make
sauce and-
sangria
yeah.
or white,
Yeah.
things that can knock around in that drink cup. But
No.
it's gonna be. And again, the theme tomorrow is Taste of New York because it's the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga, the whole Empire State of Mind, New York, Big
Correct.
Apple, everything.
Correct. The
what's-
culinary team's up there right now, setting out the buffets and doing prep work. Obviously, the first station will be Chinatown. That'll feature General Tso's chicken. We'll have some cold Asian noodles in the little Chinese boxes, the Asian boxes with the
Love it.
I like
with the
cold noodles
chopsticks.
this
The
time
cold
of year.
noodles will be great, and we're gonna have a little dim sum station with it too.
Oh, you will have
So
dim
we-
sum.
yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna have
wow.
dim
He's
sum
trying
there
to
as
pull
well.
off a lot
You're
of
going for
different
it.
New
So-
York
and
culinary
that's the
tricks.
first station
Yeah.
itself. Second station will be Little Italy, and that'll be a rigatoni bolognese with meatballs and ricotta. We'll do some focaccia and butter, and
Yeah.
keep it simple. And then the next station will be handhelds, New York handheld. So the gyros and
Oh,
the
you're doing
pastrami.
euros too.
Yes, and the pastrami sandwiches. So we'll
Oh
have
my
the shawarma, the
God.
slicing, and
Shawarma will
So
be
the shawarma
slicing
is
for
the euro.
for the
Okay,
euro,
okay, okay.
correct.
and then a pastrami slider.
Oh, so the
Pastrami
euro's going
slice.
to come off of the.
Correct.
Wow.
Off the-
Yes,
That's
yes.
a real deal.
Then you also have the hot dog push cart going. Is that a
We
go?
do. We
Yeah.
do have the hot dog push cart upstairs. And then what that'll be is obviously the traditional New York toppings and so forth. So it'll be the spicy Gouldens mustard and the
beautiful.
sauerkraut. I know we have the red onions and so forth.
How about a hot dog eating contest? You got Joey Chestnut in the house?
No, nobody
I don't
lined
think he
up.
needs that.
I don't know if my chef would support that with the food cost, but,
Why don't you try to
but we
get-
did get the Sabrett hot dogs, and
Yeah.
we have like a 3.5 inch, so it's not like you're stuck with a giant hot dog. And so
Oh, okay.
so it's
Little
gonna
bit-
go really well. We'll put
Okay.
it in the small little, little boats and stuff like
and all
that.
kinds of good cocktails and different
Correct.
drink
And then we still have the
stations.
New York pizza station. That'll
Oh,
be in the middle with
I got the
pretzel
pizza.
bites.
Yep.
So we'll have New York pretzels up there as well. And then for cocktails, all New York themed. Not any really particular brands other than say Widow Jane. Widow Jane is produced out of Brooklyn, so
Good
there'll
stuff.
be so there'll be an apple pie old fashioned or big apple old fashioned. Excuse me, apple oriented, obviously with the apple puree that we'll
Mm-hmm.
do, which we're making in house, and then we'll also have a regular old fashioned. So we have the Widow Jane Applewood Rye will be featured in the apple
Excellent.
old fashioned, and then the Widow Jane 10-year will be featured in the regular
And
old
you're gonna have
fashioned.
Brooklyn Lager for those
We'll
who
have
are
Brooklyn
into
Lager
the
beer. We'll have Blue
beers.
Point as well, the Imperial
Nice.
Sunshine. We will also be featuring we call it the New York Minute, which is an espresso martini, Cosmopolitan, Manhattan, Long Island iced tea. Please take an Uber.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
there's other drinks like the Staten Island Ferry and
Oh,
the
wow.
Red Snapper,
I
which was a
love it.
rinse.
I love
Well,
the
these are just really
names.
fun drinks
I love the
that you don't
themes.
taste the alcohol,
Yeah.
but they usually have a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
You'll notice, Joe, that today I am a teetotaler. I'm having my sparkling
Tomorrow's going
water.
to be a good
Tomorrow I'll
time.
be pounding double fisted, and Val will be the designated driver.
There
so
you go.
It's all
It's
good.
smart.
Smart
That's
man.
smart. Drink
I
responsibly,
don't know
but it
if
should
she
be a
knows
fun.
that yet, but or we can take an Uber. That's all.
And I'm waiting to find out. I should know in the next few minutes if we're able to secure some Long Island wines as well.
Really?
Yeah, nice.
So,
Yeah, you were trying to get
some
some of those nice
Weimer-
white wines.
Weimer Chardonnay, and
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the brand for the red blend, but there'd be a white and a red.
I didn't know
available.
they produced the red on
Well-
Long Island. I thought it was strictly white grapes. but
No,
interesting.
will do. Yeah.
What time will you get here tomorrow?
Myself, I get here at 9.
Oh wow!
9
How
o'clock
late are
tomorrow.
you here? You're just all day.
For that, I mean, a night like tonight with the setup for tomorrow, it depends how the setup goes. 6, 7 o'clock.
Wow.
Where are
You
you
know.
going to be able? Are you going to be able to watch the game one of Panthers?
Oh, yeah, the Panthers.
versus
I hope to, and I'm hoping to
Edmonton?
be over at Carousel Club at that time. And,
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, for this particular event, these events, we try to push them back, but everyone likes to come at 12. So we kept it at 12 o'clock for the VIP, 1 o'clock. And then, at 4 o'clock, the food and the alcohol goes away. We
You
do
can
have
hang out there. And
You
still
can hang
bet.
out. The DJ will keep playing. You
The
can
big-
still bet.
Right.
There's still a cash bar at that point.
Okay.
And then we will be showing Belmont at 6:41 when
Right.
it's supposed to go off.
Right. And
If you don't want to watch it upstairs, you can always go out to Carousel Club, and that's probably where I may be
Plenty
at
of
that time. So we'll
options.
see how the breakdown goes. I may be doing
And
Belmont
you've
at
got
Carousel.
live racing here at Gulfstream, including
Yes.
2 stakes races, concluding with the Martha Washington Stakes, which is the 11th race on the card at 6 o'clock. So it goes right from live racing here, and then boom, the Belmont Stakes at
Correct.
Saratoga. It's going to be just all day action,
Great
eating,
day. Great
drinking,
day.
fun, followed by hockey at night.
Yeah.
What
And
more could you want?
I'm
What
probably going
more
to want
could
a
you
nap
want?
somewhere in between. I don't know where I'm going to fit it,
Yeah.
but
No,
it
not
could be
me.
one of those days where I just have to kind
I'll
of
sleep better at night
muddle
with no
through.
nap.
Well, Joe, I did want to get into one other topic because, the Sun Sentinel's been doing these best food categories throughout South Florida. And the next one coming up is actually going to involve the Lunchbox. It's a best pizza contest. We knew the day was coming. Now, they're not dividing it up between whole pie and slice joints or New Haven or New York or Detroit style or deep. It's like any pizza in the world can be nominated. Doesn't matter the style. And there's going to be 5 finalists that there'll be a People's Choice winner where the readers will vote. And then they took my advice because I was complaining that a lot of these readers haven't even tasted all 5 of the finalists. Why not have a blind tasting judging component? We're going to be doing that later this month on the 25th, a Tuesday. If you're more than welcome to come out if you want to give your input too. But if somebody, and I've said, how do you compare apples and oranges, like a Detroit style pizza versus a New Haven style?
Yeah.
And the way it was put to me is like, we're looking for any and all nominations. And if you had, one choice, this is your last night on earth, and you have to go for pizza tonight in South Florida. Where are you going? Oh,
Problem is, he's friends with like a lot of it. It's like
Right.
us, where you feel
Yes.
bad not naming
And-
people you love.
And I'll be honest with you, there's a one pizza I actually noticed that you did from Pizza Craft yesterday.
Yesterday,
And
yeah.
unfortunately, I was tied up with work and I wasn't able to tune in. And I posed a question to Mark Falsetto. And I don't know Mark personally. I just know of him. I met him
Yeah,
a
he
couple of
knows he's a
times,
great
but
guy.
He
Yeah.
talks
he's a
highly of
great
you.
guy. And mad respect for all his businesses. But when Anthony's Pronto Kitchen joined with Pizza Craft,
Right.
Anthony's Pronto Kitchen was making a grandma pie.
Yes.
And I know that was on Let's Eat South
And
Florida.
Radar
Well, a lot of
14 by
places are doing the
19.
grandma, which is interesting.
And to me, that to
The
me
grandma's
reminded
pie.
me of my childhood. It reminded me of my grandmother making pie on Friday nights. And to me, that will be the best grandma's pie or best pizza I've had in South Florida.
So you like, again,
Because Stromboli's does a
stout-
grandma,
yeah.
and also Renzo's does a grandma.
Our new sponsor, Stromboli's Pizza Place and Plantation, the Fountain Shops, they make a really nice grandma pie. Place Umberto's up on Commercial Boulevard
Yes.
makes a good grandma pie, and Renzo's, where we did a show
And-
up in Boca last month, did a very nice and a grandma pie.
So
not
that
as
is a-
thick as a Sicilian. It's a
So
little
that
bit
is an old
thinner,
school New York
Correct.
and it's
thing.
got that sweet marinara on top.
yes.
The fresh basil,
And it's made
fresh-
in a cookie pan. That's how
Yeah.
my grandmother made it, 14 by 19.
Mhm.
So if you're going to do it like back when
So
Pizza
that really
Craft,
was
so
a
Pizza
grandma
Craft
pie. That's
did it.
interesting.
I asked Mark, are you still doing it? Because sometimes I've called about it and the person has said, no, we're not doing it. And then sometimes I've been there and I'm like, can you do a grandma pie? And they're like, yeah, we could do it.
Yeah.
No.
So it's kind of,
They
Catch
seem to be
as can.
open. They
like,
seem to be
and it's
open.
ironic because my mother actually texted me yesterday because she got a Sicilian pie from somewhere down the road from her in Clearwater, Florida. And she goes, oh, can you ever find out if that place does the grandma pie again? Because that really reminded me of my mom's.
Oh.
That reminded me of my grandmother. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it
yeah.
really was amazing. New York style to me is always my favorite, but to me down here, Moro's, Concadoro,
Well,
you know,
Concadoro is a New York
you know,
style. It's a
style,
little bit
you know.
thicker crust sometimes,
Correct.
a little bit chewier.
Stromboli
Correct.
makes
You
grandma's
know.
pies.
Stromboli's in Plantation makes
Yeah.
a grandma pie. They do a nice
Listen,
job.
I-
Nick is good.
Yeah.
good old
I'll have to go up
school
there.
New
I'll have to
Yorker.
go. I mean, I love a New York style pie. I fold it in the triangle like the
Yeah.
usual way you're supposed to do it. But like best pizza I've had in South Florida to me would be that grandma pie that was at Anthony's Pronto, and then
Back in
Pizza
the day,
Craft.
yeah, and now they've merged in, and I guess available maybe upon special order
Yeah.
requests. So, again, it's going to be really interesting to see what the 5 finalists are because, you ask 100 people. Pizza is so subjective, so
Correct.
personal,
Correct.
and depending what you grew up with, you ask 100 people, and especially if you're going to say, it doesn't just have to be a plain cheese or plain margarita, that you could put different toppings and specialties. I don't know what's going to emerge from the whole pile, but I will be there to eat it without knowing which ones are
You'll
which
have to let me know what
on the
which
25th.
ones are there.
And it's going to be fun. And I'm
Yeah.
glad
I'm
they're
super stoked.
going to do like a judging component. We're going to have a professional chef. We're going to have me. We're going to have a former colleague from the Sun Sentinel food and features writer, Rod Hagwood. Going to be a lot of fun, 25th of this month. But yeah, pizza, like Tip O'Neill once said about, he said, all politics is local. All pizza is local.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
what
Correct.
you grew
It really
up
is.
with
Correct.
and what you know. And
Well, that's
what
why I
you
say
love.
the 2 I say so that I don't offend anyone. Because it doesn't matter if I pick none of them.
And I'll throw this out there too. I have not tried it. I've only seen it on their social media. But Sardelli's at one point was making
Supposedly
5
it makes a great pizza.
pizzas that were like grandma style.
Okay.
And they were making 5 a day, first come, first serve. I don't know what the price point was. I don't know if you had to call it in or if you went on Resi and say, I want a pizza for today. But it was 5 a day that they were moving. And I could tell you from the pictures and watching him make it from scratch, they looked amazing. Phenomenal.
Well, another place that you don't think of ordinarily with pizza, but Mimi's Ravioli, which is a great Italian market,
Fabulous
old school, but
place.
they have like their own handmade pizzas in the corner of the display case. And it's really good. I
Yeah,
mean, you
really
can they could heat up a slice for you and you eat it while you're there
Yeah,
shopping for
really
the other
good.
stuff. So again, that's something else that might be worthy of consideration. I assume the major chains or pizza parlors, Mr. O1 Extraordinary is now popped up everywhere. People seem to like it. Sicilian Oven, people seem to like that. Primanti Brothers on the beach, open 24 hours, has its fans. We'll see what ends up. All I know is I learned one thing yesterday, Joe, on the show, and the last pizza that Mark Facetto actually personally hand-baked and brought out, it had this beautiful air bubble, and I learned don't eat an air bubble or pizza face first. I leaned down into the slice, and it was right out of the oven.
You like burned his
I
nose.
burned the tip of my nose, and I spent the latter parts of yesterday
God.
before dinner applying, but like an ice
Oh,
pack,
really? It really
Oh
did.
my God!
ice
Wow!
pack and
Mayo.
aloe vera.
Oh my God!
I don't know. Does it look red at all, or it's?
It looks
it-
fine.
It was hurting me yesterday. And,
Oh my God.
and
I'm like defending your eating habits to
That's it.
Joanne. You make it hard.
Oh man, that is
that was a
hilarious.
pretty stupid thing. I like to consider myself. a
Sorry,
smart
Don.
person.
Joanne may be right.
Yeah.
That was
Oh
not
my
smart, but it's still worth it. I love
No,
that.
yeah. I mean, pizza.
The
come
bubble,
on.
No,
the
it was like
air
a nice.
bubble,
It was like a
Oh,
nice
yeah.
bubble.
the
Yeah, it
edge
was
of
like a
the
nice
crust
bubble.
is one
Oh,
of my
yeah.
favorite things, and that's it shows good oven and good technique. So all good. Joe, I wish you luck in the preparations
Yes.
for the Taste of the Track New York
Yeah, I'm
style.
stoked. I'm really excited.
Best of
You
luck.
will see me out there with bells on, and I'll be won't be wearing my Rangers jersey. They're in the vault.
Yeah.
Maybe
Why not?
Yeah, you could chuck around shirt.
it is a New York kind of day.
Yeah.
Maybe my Mets.
Yeah,
cap,
it's a
but
New York
that's,
thing.
Yeah, I was thinking of wearing a Yankees jersey.
Yeah, you can
New
do
York.
it. You can
They
get
won
away
8 in
with
a row, so
we beat them. Once you beat a team, you're not mad at them.
all good.
So
Hey, before we take our final break, I did want to announce something. Okay, visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, obviously a sponsor of the show, and we love doing things in conjunction with them. And
Yep.
it's not too early to get your tickets for next year's grand tasting, which is going to be in January. Go online to vlfoodwine.com. They do have their early bird pricing. I hope it's the lowest price of the year, but they do have great discounts on the VIP and regular ones. Go on there now, vlfoodwine.com. But the festival now is doing events throughout the year,
Yep.
and I'm going to announce now.
So are you
that-
able to announce? Because
Yes, on Monday we're going to
Okay.
be actually releasing the website for ticket purchases.
Really?
But
does Joe even know? Have you talked to Joe
well,
about
no, I haven't talked to anybody about this except certain people. But in conjunction with Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Festival, the Mike Mayo's Lunchbox Show will be co-presenting with our great friends at Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by
Wow.
the Sea. We're calling it the Pearl Jam Oyster Festival.
Oh.
And it's going to be Saturday, August 10th. Again, tickets are going to be going on sale hopefully Monday on eventbrite.com. But Saturday, August 10th, right before school starts up again in both counties, they're going back to school early this year.
That's great.
But a Saturday afternoon where we're going to have unlimited oysters, unlimited sparkling wines, and a special like Bellini bar, but we're going to be calling it the Vitalogy Bar. We're going to have a theme that's kind of along the lines of a certain musical group that, you know, oysters have pearls, and we like pearl.
Jam.
We're going to be jamming. There's going to be
Pearl
some
jam.
music there.
Pearl Jam.
I'm not guaranteeing any Eddie Vedder, but there might be a guitarist who knows a song or
knows
two.
a thing or two.
And we might be even having an even flow cocktail at
There you
even
go.
keel for the
Nice,
occasion.
There could even be an elderly woman behind the counter.
There might be.
Might be.
There might be a daughter. My daughter
There
might
you
be
go.
there. Don't call me daughter, but
There you
my
go.
daughter might be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. August 10th, and again, I'll give full details on Monday
okay.
when the tickets officially go on sale. I believe, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think they're priced at $65, and it's going to be a 3-hour festival. There's also going to be an oyster eating competition.
contest, yeah.
That's it's not open to the
But
general
that's
public.
wide open. Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm going to be, again, I'm curating the oyster eating competition.
competitors.
It's I'm going to be getting a field of 5 local luminaries in the food world and maybe some politicians or who knows who's going to turn up. But 60 oysters in 5 minutes. Can you polish off 60 oysters in 5
yeah,
minutes
Joe
or
made
less?
the face I made. Mayo didn't make that face.
I don't know. A lot
He's
of
like,
people
"That's
can
not a
shovel
bad."
down oysters.
Yeah.
I can eat. I've never tried to eat that
It's
many, so
going
I
to
don't know.
be either, you know, as
Maybe like
many,
half a dozen,
whoever
a
eats
dozen.
the most in 5 minutes or whoever finishes
Get to
60
60
oysters quickest.
Yeah.
We're going to make a little challenge at the end too, because it's me and I'm a mean person. The last dozen oysters will be coated with drops of the Even Keel's house hot sauce. So it might make it a little bit harder to put those last
Put
dozen
it down.
It's going to be fun. We're going to be awarding a pearl necklace to the winner of the oyster eating contest. I think we're calling it the Pearl Jam.
Yes,
Oysters.
don't call it
Joey-
that term. Just don't call it that term.
The Pearl Jam necklace
Yes,
for the
yes,
oyster.
yes.
eating
Please put a word
champion.
between
I'm
that two. Yeah,
kinda
yeah, yeah.
just kind of working out all the details now. All right, that's
I
going to
like
be
that Joe
fun.
got that.
Joe, he's turning red.
Thanks, Joe.
That was great.
I love you. I can't wait till
You're
tomorrow.
the best, Joe.
Let's take our final break, and we'll be back to wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox. Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. All right, it's almost time to get out of here for the weekend. Big races ahead tomorrow, Belmont Stakes. And before I give my pick, I just want to put in the good word. J&C Oyster, downtown Hollywood, 2035 Harrison Street. They're open
And they don't
Wednesday.
force you to eat 60 at one time.
Wednesday,
No, they do not.
Wednesday through Sunday
But they have
for
great
dinner.
oyster
We're going
specials
to
for
be in
happy hour.
there next week for their ribbon cutting ceremony
Next
on Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. And Chef Raheem and Monica, they do a great job. They have a great happy hour all week long, including the weekends. That's a
Yes,
rare
it is through the weekends.
food find, and they have great. Again, they have raw and those broiled oysters with that little spicy yuzu
Yeah, it's
mayonnaise.
amazing. Yeah.
All
Raw
kinds
oysters,
of great
yeah.
dishes at J&C Oyster. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right.
Now, where are you
Belmont
with the
picks.
Belmont? Blanche keeps asking about everyone's picks. I'm like, do you really
It's a
want our
field of
picks?
10. And I actually think it's a really good race. You got the winner of the Kentucky Derby, and that would be Mystic
See-
Dan. You've got the
Seize the
runner-up,
Gray, the-
Sierra Leone. You got the Preakness winner,
Seize the
the
Gray.
Gray, trained by 88-year-old Dwayne Lucas.
That's crazy.
And you have resilience, which is Defoe's one of his favorite words, and he's showing resilience with his Achilles. Defo, do you have any picks or thoughts on the race?
I think it's on. Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
sorry, I forget you were for.
Who's the 8-ball in that race? Something
Eight-ball
with an
is
H.
Honor Marie for
Okay, that's going to be my long shot
Florent
out of
Giroux.
nowhere pick. Was
Does
one of those
Caton-
wise guy horses going into the Kentucky Derby. Didn't have the greatest of trips, which you can always, seemingly for any loser in the Derby, use as an excuse. Maybe pops back in there because I think this is a bunch of 3-year-olds where nobody really stands out.
Yeah, they could take turns winning.
Yeah.
Honor Marie, does Caton know that you're picking Florent Giroux's mount in the Belmont
She
Stakes?
probably wouldn't have come on the show today. But
Meanwhile,
I don't know. I don't know that much. I know one of my
Yeah.
friends had this horse in the future book, and he was all excited. And he was going to make a gigantic score if the horse did anything in the Derby. So I'm just looking for any alternative to the
all right,
obvious.
he's down with the number 8, Tony Segreto.
Sierra Leone.
Listen,
Sierra
I'm with
Leone
Sierra Leone too, so
turning the
that's probably not
tables
good, yeah.
on Mystic Dan, and that is, of course, trained by Chad Brown, a top
Yeah.
New York conditioner with Flavien Pratt, one of the top jocks now in the New York colony. That's Sierra Leone, number 9. You've got 8, 9. Lubie, any picks?
May as well
here?
go with the
Mind frame.
10
That
then,
was the
let
one
me-
that weren't you? Was it Mind Frame?
A
Oh,
lot
mind frame.
of-
I don't know that much about the horse. I know he's 2 for 2. Everybody loves him.
I know some of the New
Yeah.
York people
Caton talked about Mind Frame
are
as well.
really high on Mind Frame. Again, it's owned
second choice in the morning line, which
owned by-
for an inexperienced
owned
horse.
by Mike Rapoli and the Rapoli stable. He's a New Yorker and loves to win the Belmont. He's won it before. Now, Irad Ortiz was named as the jockey. He got hurt yesterday. I don't
Oh,
know if
that's
he's
not
back on his mounts today or not. So that's something to be, I guess, determined whether he's back in the saddle. But Pletcher Ortiz, usually a powerful jockey trainer combination. Mind Frame seems to be a fresh horse. 7-2 morning line. I'm saying the wise guys are going to pound him down probably to about 5-2, 3-1.
Yeah.
Mystic Dan is doing well. I talked to his assistant trainer. They seem to love the horse, but the horse seems to like tracks with moisture in it more. The wise guy horse, everybody's talking about Bill Mott's Resilience, Junior Alvarado, the number 2. So
They're hoping that the weather holds.
yeah, and I know I do like a little bit of this. Well, I always bet horses that have food or wine in it, and number 4, the Wine Steward,
Yeah.
is in the picture at 15-1 from Mike Maker with Manny Franco. I think I'm going to throw a bomb. I'm going to do a 2-4 box with a little bit of the 3-9-10 underneath it. 2-4 over the 2-4 3-9-10. How about them there, Apple?
There you
How
go.
about
Big
them
Apple
there?
fans.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm with Tony. Sierra Leone. I don't know. I know Sierra Leone was big with the Derby and then fell off and people forgotten it. I feel like with golf and horse racing, for some reason, the golfer or the horse that people forget comes back around. And I don't know the logistics and how the weather and the track does for Sierra Leone, but I don't know. For some reason, I have a Sierra Leone
It's
feel.
supposed to be a dry track. They thought they were getting rain, and apparently it's stayed clear of the Saratoga area. Again, only 1.25 miles, not 1.5 miles. A bunch of these horses have already run 1.25 miles, including Sierra Leone, who just missed in the
Yes.
Derby.
Yeah.
I think your inclinations may be right, Tony. He's going to turn the tables, certainly on Mystic Dan, but will there be anybody else in the picture with him?
That's the thing. Yeah.
All right. We'll be back on Monday, probably a home show, might be a replay. We'll figure it out on the weekend. I have a engagement that I might be going to
You
on
keep us
Monday,
posted.
but we'll keep
Panthers,
that
come
posted.
on.
Come on, Panthers.
Let's get things
Panthers.
going
Let's
tomorrow
go.
night. Come on, Cats.
Well, once we're doing predictions, Panthers in 6, Panthers in 6,
We've
Panthers
all
in
been
6,
Panthers and
Panthers in
six.
6.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Enjoy every sandwich. Have a great weekend.